future of analytics that we're talking about is already here. If you have attended the sessions, the morning sessions, you already know that people like Gurinder and others are already doing a bunch of things. If you Googled in the last few days, I'm sure most of you have, you're already using the biggest AI machine out there that's telling you, giving you answers, and nowadays even telling you answers even before you ask the questions, right? With Google Now, I'm sure some of you used Google Now. There's a professor called Bruce Bueno the Mosquito, who actually built a game theory-based model. He sold his prediction to a Wall Street bank, which then profited from that prediction but didn't choose to disclose it at all, right? Obviously we talked about Facebook and LinkedIn and how they filter status messages, or how Amazon does stuff. And even the cost of human genome sequencing, for example, the amount of analytics required around genome sequencing, it's amazing how it's evolved. When the first time human genome was decoded in 2001, the cost was $100 million per genome. All of us are experiencing and consuming analytics so many times every day and big data every day that it's frankly quite a rhetorical question to say that has big data arrived? And someone in the morning session said that whatever cannot fit an Excel spreadsheet is big data. If that's really the definition of big data, then we've been living in the era of big data for at least 20 years. Or probably much more. But most companies are really struggling with data issues, with solving simple problems, or they've solved problems, but they're not able to institutionalize that or operationalize that in their organization. So, I like to look at it on a two-dimensional scale. How sophisticated is the analytics that companies are using? And two, how institutionalized is the analytics inside the organization? So in a sense, you can have this grid, and you can say that the top right-hand corner are the companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook, who are institutionalized in the way they use analytics, and also are very sophisticated in terms of using machine learning and stuff like that for solving problems. But the rest of the world is somewhere in the lower left-hand corner, or gradually getting to the top right-hand corner. And if there's a mission that Fractal has, it's about moving companies from here to there. It's to Amazonify every retailer, or to bring the technology and the AI techniques that Google uses for every company. And while we're doing that, we believe in basically three things, and we always believe in 3 I's around everything that we do. And I'm going to give you 3 examples, which each of these 3 I's, where each of these 3 I's are prominent. The 3 I's are simple. They're insight. What kind of insight are we bringing to the problem? 2, what kind of impact are we creating? Because it's all about impact. And finally, what kind of innovation are we bringing to the table, right? Are we fundamentally transforming something? Are we questioning the status quo? So I'm going to give you 3 examples where each of these I's is prominent. So let me start off by talking about insight. Now, here we were working with a Fortune 50 retailer with roughly 100 million customers and more than, I think, 250,000 products, 250,000 SKUs that they were selling to 100 million customers, really big business. And of that, we were specifically looking at their tools business. It's a very successful national brand of tools that they have, and more than 100-year-old brand. But they never had the insight around who are their expert buyers of their tools, who are their novice buyers, and who are the intermediate buyers.